AlexDesignS.com. I've been doing website design and conversion optimization now for over 10 years. Today I'm going to be taking you through how to improve the opt-ins for your email list, an A/B testing case study, and also the ability for you to master website conversions yourself. Doing conversion optimization is a straightforward process. There's many different ways to do it, and we all have goals that we really want to achieve because we're spending a lot of time or a lot of money on our website. So we want to get the best ROI from that. So initially, I'm going to be taking you through some design tips to improve your email opt-ins. I'm going to first do a couple tests to make sure everyone can hear me. If you can, please mention it in the chat box. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel down below or enter a comment as well. Okay, looks like everything's all set. We're going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Alex Harris. My website is AlexDesignS.com. I'm a website designer focused on conversion rate optimization, A/B testing, and creating landing pages. I've been doing this now for over 10 years, and it really has become a specialty of mine to not only create great web designs focused on improving your profit, but also building your email list and making more ROI from the advertising dollars that you're spending. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the presentation. And if there's any problems, you can either tweet me at AlexDesigns or post anything in the chat room as well. So let's go ahead and pop open the presentation. Okay. You should now be able to see the slides for this particular presentation. Design tips to improve your email list. Why is this so important to really create your email list? It's because it's all about relationship marketing. You're building a consistent path for people to experience your brand. Because what happens on websites with everybody? Doesn't matter if you have the best website in the world, everybody is going to leave. So what you want to do is collect email addresses to really build your list over time. So today I'm going to be telling you some tips to improve your email opt-ins, and then I'll be going through an A/B testing case study about e-commerce and improving revenue, and then in the end I'll be doing some website reviews to give you actionable tips to improve on your own website. So about me, my name is Alex Harris. I live in South Florida. I lived here for a long time, but previously that I moved here from New York, so I go back and forth from New York to South Florida a lot. I live here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. It's mostly sunny, but it happens to be rainy this time of year, and I would love to connect with any of you either on Twitter or by email, and you can email me at alex@alexdesigns.com. So about me, I started working from home, and these are my coworkers, my two dogs, and then recently my wife brought in a new dog. So me being around other like-minded people, it's really an intention for me so I can learn more about conversion and not necessarily always be talking about my dogs as well. So I worked at a .com for over 11 years, and during that time I was marketing myself as a landing page and conversion-focused web designer. I started doing search engine optimization and really trying to place myself in the search results. And for over 7 years, I was #1 for the keyword term landing page web design or landing page designer. So that's really how I built my business and met a lot of people in the industry. Finally, I left that corporate job, and in 2012, I finally got married to my beautiful wife, and in 2013, I created my podcast, Marketing Optimization. More than likely, you've heard me or connected with me from this podcast, Marketing Optimization, and I'd love for you to subscribe to it in either iTunes or Stitcher. Now this year I've really focused on not only implementing conversion optimization practices, but also teaching other people how to do it through my membership site called Master Website Conversions. So I've done a lot of testing. I've done over 5,000 tests, thousands of landing pages. I've been testing almost every single day that I've been working on the internet for over 13, 14 years now. Lots of testing experience. And I have the testimonials really to prove it. I've done a lot of work with a lot of great experts online this particular testimonial from Brian Eisberg. He's a marketing optimization expert, also a keynote speaker, and a best-selling author of some of my favorite books. He actually became a mentor to me over a period of time. But Brian said that I've been one of his secret weapons for many years. I also do a lot of work with e-commerce site owners, and this particular owner said that I helped her increase her conversion 5 times overall. I also do a lot of work with lead generation companies, and this particular person said that after 3 months, the conversion rate on his landing pages increased 5 times. So what happens in the conversion aspect? You know, in between someone searching in Google for a query and them arriving at your site, your WordPress site, your e-commerce site, your landing page, whatever it is, but in between all of that, there's experience, there's visitors, there's browsers, and you need to understand what those pains and problems are so you can connect the problem to the correct solution. During that time, there's going to be a lot of micro goals that you're going to be creating. Obvious one for traffic is that you want to get people to visit your website. But it doesn't matter how many people visit your website or how much traffic that you have if you're not able to convert any of that traffic into actually leads. So the first step in really creating all this is the opt-in process, the ability to have a lead magnet or something of value that people can obtain from you by entering in their email address. There's the theory of reciprocity. When you give away something, people are going to feel obligated to give you back something in return. So that's really the first step in this relationship process, is getting those opt-ins. After that is the ability to turn those opt-ins into qualified leads. There's a big difference between someone opting in and actually a qualified lead. An opt-in may be someone general looking for your information that you want to kind of tease over a period of time. A qualified lead is someone who may actually want to do business with you. Once they are a qualified lead, you want to turn those into qualified prospects and eventually the big enchilada, the conversion or the sale. So you need to not only have those conversion goals, but have micro goals in between that to really get people to experience your brand, improve your authority, and build credibility. So let's just jump right into it and look at some examples. This is a website that we worked on last year, and it's for a personal branding site, WordPress site, and we changed his whole site, but in particular his homepage, we added this main opt-in section at the very middle, direct above the fold. We clearly asked people to subscribe with their email address. This resulted in an increase of opt-ins of 35%. So obviously your homepage is going to be one of your most top traffic pages. So don't make it confusing. Make it as obvious as possible so they can opt into your list. Moving on, the next case study is for a podcast WordPress site. All we did was simply change up his header and his sidebar. We added the MailChimp widget to collect more email addresses, and also changed the buttons to make them really look like buttons so people can subscribe to this podcast. Because when people subscribe to your podcast, that's basically like them opting in as well. So doing just these small changes, the exact same information that he had, but just reorganizing it and using design, we increased the opt-ins by 25%. There's also the ability to add these overlays. Now these work really well, but you have to test them and you have to have a really good giveaway, a lead magnet. In my case, I give away free landing pages, and this has really increased my own email list by 20% per week by having this opt-in overlay, and this is done with Opt-in Monster. The next is the two-step opt-in, where you place it at the end of your blog post. This is an example from Pat Flynn's site, Smart Passive Income. At the end of each of his blog posts, he has this section, like what you've read, get started. As soon as you click on that, you now are presented with an opt-in overlay. This two-step process, I've actually implemented it on my own site as well, and it's dramatically increased the frequency of opt-ins I get per day. This is a great example that you can implement with many different strategies, but this way is done using the lead pages. Another example of doing this is showing the actual form at the end of your blog post. Example from Lewis Howe's website, another podcaster, but that at the end of each of his blog posts, he says, did you enjoy this podcast? Like what you've read so far, get access to my weekly tips. Getting people to interact right there at the end of the blog post will dramatically increase your opt-ins too. Let's look at some more examples. Another podcaster, Michael Hyatt, he has his own WordPress theme, but what I wanted to show you is that he's calling out logos of popular media outlets, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Forbes, Business Week, as social proof, showing that he's a credible source and that he's not going to scam you or steal your money in any way. How do people get these New York Times, Wall Street Journals on their site? You either can write a guest post or do PR, but that's kind of like the hard way. All you really need to do is use Google advertising, run a network display advertising, and run ads on the New York Times or Wall Street Journal. Then you can use these logos too, as seen on New York Times, Wall Street Journal. It's valid. You have advertised on those sites, so you can use those as social proof too. Another example, another podcaster, he shows his picture on his homepage because people like to work with people that they like. The more that you can relate to certain people, the more likely you have the option to do business with them. Chris Ducker shows his email opt-in form right there with a clear call to action. Join now for free. Picture of him, a couple bullets, not hard to read, and right below that, as featured in using social proof. Entrepreneur, Forbes, Startup Weekend, Blueprint Rise, etc. He's also segmenting his audience to his blog, speaking, and podcasts. That's a great way to distribute traffic across your site as well. So you can do this. All you need to do is figure out where people are going on your site, what people are interacting with, and then create ultimate value. What value can you give away so they want to opt into your list? This will double the frequency of your email list. So going from 1 or 2 opt-ins per day to 2 or 4 by implementing a popover, optimizing your homepage to include the email opt-in, putting the blog opt-in at the end of your blog post, and continuously trying to provide more value to your potential audience. So why is these things so important when we're thinking about collecting emails or improving revenue or increasing conversions in general? Because we don't want to make decisions out of the blue. We don't want to pull stuff out of thin air and just make random decisions. We want to make data-driven decisions, and we do that based on quantitative and qualitative data. That's where master website conversions comes in. I created a membership site specifically on creating case studies on documenting all the processes that I go through to really understand how to improve your conversion rates, generate more leads, and maximize your return on investment. So this next step of the workshop, I'm going to be taking you through a case study where I tell you the 5-step formula that I use to master website conversions. And it doesn't matter if I've been working with a client for years or brand new. I go through the same exact process every single time because it all comes back to identifying where the most opportunity is. So the 5-step formula is the discovery process, the hypothesis, the execution creation process, reviewing your data, and then scaling it over a period of time. In short, you're discovering your audience, you're creating educated experiments with a hypothesis, educated guesses, and then you're going to create systems, designs, and tests to actually test those hypotheses, and then you're going to review your data and then figure out what wins and scale that so you can increase your bottom line. So how do we do that? We use different kinds of tools to collect different kinds of data. Using quantitative tools, numbers and analytics, we use Google Analytics, Kissmetrics, Clicky, Mixpanel, but then also testing tools like Visual Website Optimizer, Optimizely, Convert.com, Opt-in Monster like I showed you, but even email, Aweber, MailChimp, those things can actually identify analytics that are important to us, so they're quantified tools as well. Next is qualitative tools. This is really where you understand what's going on in the customer's mind. What problems are you going to be solving in the experiences that you're going to be creating in your execution process? A lot of the tools that we use in this one will be usertesting.com, Crazy Egg, and SurveyMonkey. So I'm going to give you an example of creating a quick win test. This is the ability to take whatever traffic that you have already and then maximize the return on investment from that traffic. And I'm going to give you an exact case study that I've been working on for master website conversions, where I show you a split test example of what I've been doing. So step one, the discovery process. Understanding your visitors, putting yourself in their shoes, and figuring out what's going on your site. So starting with quantitative data, we want to figure out where the most opportunity is. You see, you just don't want to go and just test random things. What you want to do is find the exact right place and opportunity for the most return on investment for each of your tests. So we all have probably a lot of pages on our site, but majority of all of our traffic or our conversions comes from about 10 to 20% of our total pages. So 20% of your pages will generate 80% of your traffic. The classic 80-20 rule. So what you want to do is you want to figure out what those 5 to 7 different pages are. Obviously, you're probably going to be a home page, maybe a product page, an item page, a category page. What are those 5 to 7 different kind of pages, so you can figure out where the most opportunity to test is. Once you do that, you can now figure out how much revenue and conversion or goals that you're tracking is attributed to each one of those individual pages. We can also use Visual Website Optimizer to identify how much revenue each one of those pages is collecting as well. Also, we want to understand where people are actually clicking on each of the pages. So in this case study, I'm going to be taking you through, this is a health and fitness supplement site. In this case, this health supplement, we can see where people were clicking on the page. And it helps us identify the hypothesis that we're going to generate and then the experiments that we're going to eventually test and design. We also want to collect survey data about what people's feedback or potential customers are, because we don't want to make those assumptions. So a great place to put a survey is after the checkout. After someone purchases, find out why they purchased. Find out how they found you. Found out how, if they were referred to you. Would they recommend this product to someone else? And then opposite to that, you can even ask people before they actually check out. You can use things like Qualaroo if they actually are about to leave and abandon your funnel. You can pop up a survey and ask questions there as well. We also use usertesting.com to watch videos of people going through our site on desktop, on mobile, on tablet, to figure out what's going on in the user's mind. So we've now collected a bunch of data using SurveyMonkey, usertesting.com, heat maps, revenue tracking, and what we've learned that this particular page, this is a whey protein powder page, which is the default landing page, which drives the most traffic. So if we change this page, we would potentially change the revenue for the whole entire site, because there's the most opportunity here. But learning from usertesting.com, heat maps, and the survey is that we found that this page, it seemed a little bit too busy, there was too much going on, it seemed a little bit salesy, and in particular, there was a lack of support for the claims. You can see in the headline right there, it says, the best tasting, highest quality, all-natural meal replacement protein shakes. That's a big claim. People wanted support for those claims. They were also asking questions about how many calories and how many servings, or what ingredients, or does this compare to some of the bigger brands? So you need to understand what those questions are that people are asking when they arrive at your pages, and then use that data to create your tests. And that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to take this test, that control page, and create a hypothesis. And we do this to create educated guesses of what we think is actually going to work or not work. And then we test them. In order to create a hypothesis, there's 5 ingredients to a world-class hypothesis. As I discussed, the quantitative and qualitative aspects of doing the analytics. They also want to gather heuristic data, the rule of thumb. You want to understand what your intuition or gut thinks, and also how does this reflect the stakeholders. In the hypothesis also, we also want to identify our KPIs. What are those goal metrics that we really want to identify? In this case of the e-commerce site, not only do we want the full conversion, the sale, but in order to actually get the sale, people actually have to click on add to cart. So a KPI or a conversion goal that we create is add to cart percentage. Now we have our goals, we have our hypothesis, and we have our research. We're going to now execute and create opportunities to improve our marketing material. We do that by understanding what tools we're actually going to use. In this case, we're going to use Visual Website Optimizer for A/B testing. We're going to use Google Analytics to track and measure our analytics, SurveyMonkey to collect more data, and use user testing to watch people go through our experience and get more feedback. So here's the test. We set it up, the original control on the left and the test on the right. It's the exact same information on both sides, but all we did was try to simplify it and figure out what the main messages, the main keywords, the main headlines, the main bullets that people really wanted to know. You can see that we added supplement facts above the fold. People wanted to learn more about the money-back guarantee. So overall, we just simplified it and took out everything that just was not needed at all. The next step, as we are running this test, is to review that data. As the test is running, we can see that we're starting to see improvements in the variations. In this particular test, I think this is about a week into the test. Majority of these tests run about two weeks, and you want to ensure that all of your tests basically run about the same period of time in order to reach significance. But this test was receiving almost $2 more revenue per sale with the new control. In the end, this test variation started to increase the percentage by 19%. In the end, the variation of the new simplified page increased the total revenue by 65.95%, with the average of over $2,000 more revenue. It reached significance, and now we're able to really understand what's going on with our conversion goals, because now we have a win. We now have the opportunity to take this and scale it across our whole site. How would you like to increase your revenue by 65%? We did all of that in less than 3 weeks. Set up the test, did the discovery process, and ran the whole test and did the optimization. I mean, the membership site's only been live a month, and we doubled their revenue from this particular campaign. Imagine if you can do that for your own site, and that's why I created Master Website Conversions, because you can do it yourself as well. It's a win, but in order to really grow your bottom line, you need to figure out how to take those opportunities and scale. Scaling and growing is your biggest opportunity to really improve your conversion goals. Once you understand exactly what is going on your landing pages and you start to make improvements, then you could take those wins and really improve your bottom line. So this particular landing page, you can see it here. What we want to do, especially with e-commerce, more than likely there's a series of product pages that are all very similar. All you want to do is now take the wins from one landing page and start to apply it to all of your products. In this case, we took the wins from the whey protein, the shake, and we started to apply it to the green superfood landing page. And then we applied it to the pre-workout energy drink page. Now we start to really see a lift in our bottom line, because the wins, the quick wins that we learned from one test, we're now applying across many different pages. In the end, you'll get more customers, more clicks, which will generate more leads. You'll improve your conversion rate, essentially getting more profit. And the trends will start to really show, as you can see in Google Analytics, as we can identify that once you start to make these changes across your whole site, you will start to trend up for your total conversion for your bottom line. So also the ability, once you start testing different images and different headlines and different call to actions, you can now take that and apply that to your Facebook campaigns or your Google AdWords. Take the winning images and apply them to your Facebook ads, get more clicks, and then drive those to their landing pages. So there's a message match right there. You can also take your headlines, apply that to your Google pay-per-click keyword ads, text ads, or your display ads, and apply that to your remarketing campaigns as well. So you could take the exact same tests that you're running for your landing pages and apply them to all your advertising as well. So that's the 5-step formula to master website conversions. I take you through the discovery process, hypothesis, execution, review, and scaling process for you to do it for your own website or for your client sites as well. This is what master website conversions is all about, and it's really just getting started. I'm here to help you create your own conversion plan for your own website so you can increase your revenue and your leads as well. If you visit Master Website Conversions, you can learn about this course that I've documented. I've gone through one case study already, and now I'm working on the next case study. I'm also looking for people to work with that I can create case studies of your site. I want to turn your website into a selling machine. Get your own conversion plan today by visiting masterwebsiteconversions.com. Not only do I give you training and specific advice for your site, but I also give you 18 HTML responsive landing pages, a video website review specific for your website with actionable advice, and also give you free consulting and answer unlimited questions to help you improve your conversions as well. But really, it is all about that actionable advice. And I'll give you some examples of how I do these website reviews. I've done many website reviews already, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over because we received a couple. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to be walking through a couple website reviews that I'll be doing right now live. Pop over here real quick. If you have any questions, please enter them in the chat room, and I will answer them appropriately. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop open my screen, desktop. All right. Now it's all confusing right now. Okay. Okay. So the first website that we're going to be reviewing initially is hypnosisdownloads.com. Interesting. Hello, how can we help you? Search, downloads. So on the left here, I'll be showing the original of what pages that were submitted to me, and then on the right, I'll start to look for examples. Professional hypnosis downloads. Interesting. Professional hypnosis. I wonder who their competitors are. But what you want to do really when reviewing sites is you want to get as many examples of people that are spending money online, because that's really where people are probably spending the most time. So before I even jump into a specific review about this site, I'm going to pop open Google. I'm going to start to take a look at what other people out there are selling hypnosis. Oh. Got an auto thing right there. Okay. Hypnosis downloads. Interesting. So when I arrive here, you can see some of the competition. You know, a personal branding site from someone who's a hypnotist. Hypnosis Florida. Welcome to Healthy Living Hypnosis. Oh, look, opt-in box right above the top. I'm sure they're collecting a lot of emails that way. The Sylvia method. That's an interesting site. I like that one. That one's not very good. Not very good. Not very good. Not very good. Okay, so hypnosisdownloads.com. So when I arrive here, change your life with professional hypnosis downloads. What does that even mean? Do I need to download something to be hypnotized to change my life? The initial assumption is that you need to test this headline. It's not clear enough exactly what you want people to do. What I think actually is really interesting is this, oh, it just left, hypnosis training course. When people arrive at your webpage, more than likely they're going to want to do something. So right now, you know, you have all these equal weight buttons which don't necessarily look like buttons, and then when I actually went to click on one, they actually changed. So you know what the trick to finding the best slider is? Set these up as static sections and then test them to figure out which one actually gets the most clicks. Then reorder them in a slideshow to figure out exactly which one is getting the most clicks. That way you can actually get the most conversions on each of those sections. Choose from over 800 self-hypnosis, MP3s and audios. Interesting. Okay. You know, when I see this site, it kind of reminds me of how Lynda.com sets up their homepage. So just like you have down here, self-confidence, relationship, esteem, social anxiety, personal finance, segmenting out each one of your potential audiences is definitely important. It'd be interesting to know which one of these gets more clicks, because you can see how Lynda.com does it based on what do you want to learn today. What if this up here is how do you want to change your life with hypnosis today? And then you clicked on self-confidence, weight loss, hypnosis, because I don't think this slideshow area is really doing any justice to you. And what about your opt-ins? As we discussed at the very beginning of the workshop, your opt-ins, free audio training course. So what you're doing is you're forcing people to read all this, then maybe click something, then maybe opt in. Send me my free course. You're better off showing a picture of the course or something of value that they're going to get in return, and then having them opt in. Also, there's definitely a lack of differentiating between what's a button and what's not. Like these author sections, I don't know if they should necessarily be buttons or not. As I click on About Us, About Hypnosis Downloads and Uncommon Knowledge. Missing an opt-in, no opt-in above the fold. No opt-in below. So, you know what? Right now, you are guessing what people are thinking, and I think what you need to do is have some clear or call to actions, and almost either get them to click on what topic that they're interested in, or get them right into a course. You know, having this clear, become a member, join now. That's a lot clearer than what's going on over here. And if it is downloads, you know, why can't I just click and opt in and get a free download? You have a very similar problem that most websites out there have. You have a ton of content, and it's just not necessarily organized in the right way. Like, as soon as I arrive at your homepage, it should clearly say exactly what's in it for me. Change your life with professional hypnosis downloads. Change your life. The headline just doesn't call it actually out to me as being simple enough. Join us. Let's take a look at your checkout process. Start working out today. Is that how you join? Join Growth Zone. Let's look at this particular lesson, training courses. Let me go back to the homepage. Let me click on weight loss hypnosis downloads. Okay, that's a good keyword to try to test. Discover how to live your life with one of Sylvia's Method's best meditation courses. So this example, I don't know if you're doing particular landing pages, but this is an example of how to do a particular landing page for a particular course. Discover how to live your dream life with one of these methods, best meditation courses for free, using social proof. Subheadline. Someone searched for a specific problem that they have, and this landing page is now offering them something of free in return for collecting their email address. So I would strongly suggest testing landing pages specifically like this as well. Social proof with testimonials, opt-in again down below, the ability to opt into your fan page, credibility and authority. It's a good page just right here. Jack Canfield showing authority and credibility as a testimonial as well. Lots of stuff going on. So you read this page and then you have to add more, add to cart. This should clearly say buy now or add to cart or join or free download. This is not clear enough. So I think your particular site is a great example of the 80-20 rule. More than likely, you're receiving 80% of your traffic off of 20% of your pages. So let's say those 20% are your homepage, one of your particular courses, a CD order page, or maybe a community page. Those are the pages that you now want to figure out how much more opportunity there is to really increase their conversions. Like on this page, you know, if you find from heat maps or usertesting.com that people are scrolling, you know, halfway down the page and then clicking on this one, then you know there's an opportunity to test more in these areas. But if people aren't doing that and they're scrolling all the way to the very, very bottom and they're clicking on About Us or Learn or Download or whatever it is, then you want to actually start to optimize the About page. If people want to visit your About page and they want to learn more about you, spend more time optimizing those sections. That's where you get the real key conversion wins, the ability to improve your profit off your existing traffic. So you take those 5 to 7 different pages that you really want to optimize, and now you start to put them into my 5-step formula. Discover why people would want home study courses related to hypnosis or therapy. You know, what are those problems and keywords that they may be offering? Because right now it seems like you're almost forcing people to read a lot before they actually have to click on anything. So I think you really need to ground a lot of what you're doing with authority and credibility. Somebody should be telling you why they should be taking this home study course. What's the credibility behind it? That's way you can not make people think, and they can be sure that you are going to sell them the right thing that they're looking for. Let's also take a look at one other example. This was submitted to me. CannabisTrainingUniversity.com. Very interesting. I never knew that you can actually make a business out of this. Wow. Even if you don't live in Colorado or California, I see, huh? The world's leading online marijuana school. Learn, preview, and 420 stories and culture. Wow. Really interesting, huh? Well, same thing with the last website that was submitted. Lack of value proposition. Why am I here? What do I do? And the slider is just confusing me. So, you know, do I click on these? Oh, I can click on these, but they're not clear that I can click on them. I can click on the joint. Oh, really interesting. Enroll. So it's an actual school to learn about growing or laws. Oh, super busy. Not a clear navigation. Maybe the people who arrive there would understand what's going on. But there's a lack of value proposition, a lack of clarity, and a lack of direction. What do I do? Do you want people to enroll? Because right now, everything is competing for your attention. New, $99, enroll, win one of this. Overall, you need a simplified navigation, simplified buttons. Oh, look what happened there. As soon as I hit refresh and I arrive here, before I actually even click to go to the slider, it's already gone. I think you have some, you know, definitely slow down the slideshow. That's for sure. Also, don't ever have GIF rotating animations. No one's going to enroll more because it's flashing. Or, you know, maybe these people do. But you have a lot of the same problems that the last site has. A lot of information, but a lack of credibility, authority, and reasons why they actually should commit. So let's go ahead and say, oh, I'm really interested. I want to learn how to, the laws about growing marijuana, whatever it is. I click on Enroll Now. It takes me to another page to click on Enroll Now. Why don't I just enroll? Let's go ahead and enroll. The Master Certificate Program enrollment. Interesting. 9 hours of instructional video. Wow. People got some free time on their hands. Bring in your enrollment. New student. Again, lack of credibility, authority, and reasons of why they should register with you. New student, account information. It's hard to really even understand what's going on here. But with any of these sign-up pages is that you need a shop with confidence box. There should be a clear box on the page that tells them potentially what their refund or money-back guarantee is. If you receive anything in the mail, how fast does it ship? Do you download something right away? But almost all of the questions that people could be asking, you can ask those questions right up front. These security symbols are probably the most important thing on your page, and they're buried at the very, very bottom. This is part of your shop with confidence. You want to ensure that people feel secure about privacy and security settings, so put these above the fold or along the right on your page as well. Also, your button is way too small. People may want to sign up for your program, but subscribe is not necessarily the best call to action. Enroll now, become a member, but something more inspirational to get them to actually click on it. Because after they click on they fill out all that information, you don't want the button to be the very smallest thing on the very page. So you can dramatically increase conversions by improving your checkout as well. I wonder if there's any examples. I'm actually afraid to research it. Let me see what they're targeting. They're targeting Cannabis College Online. Cannabis College Online. Can't spell it, but general college offers. Marijuana College, Marijuana Training Institute. What's the difference between this one and that one? Huh. I don't know if it's the same industry. This one might take a little bit longer to research. Obviously, it's a pretty new and selective industry, but it seems pretty interesting. If anyone does have any is on the call and wants to have their website review, please go ahead and submit it in the chat room, and I will go ahead and pop up in my Google Chat. Who's ready? Okay, I'm going to take 1 second, and I'm going to check out, see what's going on in the chat room. All right. All right, Matt, if you're still on, I'm going to go ahead and review WP 180. Okay, let's pop that open. Go back to screen share. Stop. One of these days I'll figure this all out. Okay. Okay, let's start over. WP 180. Well, thanks, Matt, for submitting your site. Looks like you're just getting started with your WordPress site. Just do me a favor. Let me know that you can see what I have going on. Okay, cool. All right. I build WordPress sites in front of your face. Do you need a professional WordPress site built and customized? Let me show you how to do it. Well, obviously, it looks like you're just getting started with WordPress. Maybe you're working on a lot of client stuff and you don't have time to improve your homepage, but it doesn't really matter. any WordPress theme can do anything, and it seems like you know what you're doing, so you kept it pretty simple. So let's take a look at what's in your other sections. So selecting WordPress theme, recommended themes. Theme for this video. I bet WordPress, so it's in front of you to need first. Let's chat about your project. Okay. All right. Well, obviously, I know your industry really well. I build WordPress sites for people, but what people want to know is results. So the more you can bring these testimonials to the very, very front, the better. You have 2 seconds to really impress and show what's going on to your potential clients. So if you were to close your eyes and then open them quickly, within 2 seconds, do you know exactly what Matt does? I do, because I'm a web designer and I do WordPress. But more than likely, his ideal audience, maybe the solopreneurs, maybe the people who work at jobs and they want to build a side business, they probably don't even know really what WordPress necessarily means. So what you probably want to do is have a better value proposition. I build WordPress sites in front of your face. It's clear to me, but you should say, I build WordPress sites for you easily. Or you want to identify the problem that they have and then just reiterate it back to them. I will build your WordPress site this week. I will build your WordPress site in 7 days. Something clear and specific, that way they understand exactly what you do. So I'm sure there's a lot of competition for this, but let's see if we can avoid Odesk or WordPress custom. I'm just gonna try and make it long tail, launch custom design, and let's take a look at some of the people. I should have turned off local search. Odesk, load designers, nerdery, template monster. We don't want any of these. Elance, no. Z Networks, Elance, Codable, that looks good. WPchef.ca, that looks interesting. An India site. Okay, that's good enough. Custom WordPress sites. Boom. We design and develop custom WordPress sites. Request a quote. I like that you're using yourself here, and personalization and our authority is really great, but that is super clear to me. Custom WordPress sites, necessarily might not be your target audience, but what they're trying to do is back it up with that they're essentially WordPress experts, they're quality and reliable, they have pro stuff, and they do project management as well. And then showing examples right into case studies. People want to see results. People want to see what you have done before. It's a problem that I see on my own site. Being a web designer, people always want to see my portfolio. Unfortunately, so many people have stolen so many of my designs that for clients that I have a tendency not to show off my portfolio. But let's take a look at what they do compared to yours. And this is how you should do it. This is funny how it worked out, but this is how you should do it. You should show clear examples of images and not show text. With anything on the web, is that people want to click on stuff. People want to click on images and buttons. They don't necessarily want to click on text. Like Rob Stein, that doesn't mean anything to me unless these were important names or anything. I think you're better off showing tiles exactly like this. And then also showing what's behind the scenes. Our process, let's take a look at, not theme, testimonials, contact, FAQ. Oh, look, they have a discovery process. So, 2 extreme different examples, our process and frequently asked questions. I think the ideal would be a mix of the two. Showing videos along with text. Because obviously people like to consume content in different ways. Some people want to watch all these videos, some people don't. So I think my recommendation would be a mix between these two. Let's take a look at testimonials. They don't have testimonials on here, huh? We build awesome websites. So their homepage says we build awesome websites, and then that particular landing page that I went to said we build custom WordPress sites. I like your testimonials page. I love the pictures of the people. But what I would recommend is calling out specific things that maybe people may like. Matt is friendly, professional, and willing to personalize consulting services to fit customers' needs. Maybe you want to bold that, make that big, make that highlight. Because people don't want to think. They don't have any time. So they're not going to dig deep into a lot of this text. So the more you can call out like this, paving the road to online success, that's pretty good. Even though I don't necessarily like the slider. Okay, let's go back to your homepage and let's click through some of these other examples. Request an estimate now. Are you corporate, e-commerce, WordPress, or portal? Maybe a little bit too much for you. Too much segmentation for you. But what I do like is call for a free consultation. I do like that. Request a free consultation. People like to get stuff for free, so if you want more people to contact you, contact me today for a free consultation. WordPress Experts, example of how Nerdery is doing their landing page. Have a WordPress site developed by the best. Clear value proposition, because even though your picture shows the WordPress logo just like theirs, it doesn't, the headline necessarily doesn't reinforce what the results are going to be. Great example of a nice clear landing page right there, using social proof of awards that they've won, so backing up credibility with a phone number. Another example, super busy. Multiple WordPress fixes in 6 hours, searching for the right WordPress expert. Not the best form, but a clear value proposition, using a question. Searching for the right WordPress expert with the talented and experienced developers, be assured that the accurate project completion. A little wordy, but I do like the text going into the arrow. Not necessarily the best page though. Codeable, 95 WordPress experts. Seems like everybody has an expert site these days. Nice looking, but necessarily not similar to you. Hire, own, professional WordPress developers. Does that even make sense? I don't know if that's probably from India, but I think your best example was this previous one, custom WordPress design development. But one that I do want to call out that I know probably could work really well for you would be Ryan Lee's site. This is a great example of probably what you should do. Have a nice professional photo of you, obviously not one of you in your car, but have a nice professional photo of you with a clear value proposition. Build your dream WordPress site right now. Sign up for a free gift. Because everybody who visits your page, Matt, is going to leave. So you want to start building your list. Request a free consultation. Request the free tips to improve your WordPress site. Your best email, and maybe you ask for what your budget is or what they're interested in. But the trick to this drop-down right here, which is really great, is the ability to collect information about what people are interested in. So if you have a drop-down of asking someone, I'm interested in custom WordPress design, custom theme development, WordPress membership site, you can then find out what people are actually interested in as they fill out your form. Also, having clear or finished at least looking website that has a clear hierarchy of content. So learn more about him, obviously navigation, right into picture, headline, free book. It forces you to scroll down, learn more about him. People want to learn more about the people that they potentially want to work with. And as you go through additional pages, there's always the ability to sign up for his free book. So even though you're only selling one individual product or service, you still should have clear buttons, get a free consultation, or clear opt-ins to get people to sign up. If you are doing customization for each of these themes, and maybe someone is actually these are just all probably affiliate links. But what I'd strongly recommend you do is find out what the most popular themes are that people are searching for, and then write particular blog posts about how you customize them and showed them in your portfolio. Great case study example, and then you do stuff like what I'm doing here, with webinars. Show other people how to do exactly what you're doing as well. Okay, cool. Let me just check the chat and. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that is the conclusion. We have about 5 minutes left. If anyone does have any questions, if not, we will end the workshop. I want to let you know that I am going to be doing this every Wednesday, not only to help you, but also to help me really create great content and fine-tune the content I'm creating. Because I've been doing the same 5-step formula now for over 10 years, but really fine-tuning it and making it of value to you is really my intention this year. The ability to take the exact same content or traffic that you're generating already and make more profit off your existing traffic. That's what the key to conversion is. Everything that I do is all post-click. I work with a lot of pay-per-click companies that drive traffic to my client sites, or e-commerce companies that are driving traffic for their products. And I don't like to spend more money on advertising. I like to increase the conversions off the advertising dollars that you're already spending. That way you can dramatically improve your profit over time. Thanks a lot for your time. My name is Alex Harris, and please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Twitter @AlexDesigns. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys next week.